Oh man. I think this truly is the end. If I was stuck in a house with like six idiots, oh god. I don't even know what would happen like it's funny when I think about it cuz this is a really just it's a really like clever funny premise. You know, six actors: Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, James Franco, Jonah Hill, Craig Robinson, and Danny McBride, all playing themselves, stuck at James Franco's house when the apocalypse happens. It doesn't get better than that. And that's literally the premise. Like, Jay Baruchel and Seth Rogen are gonna hang out in LA for, I think, like a weekend, and they decide to go to James Franco's house. Quick drinking game. Every time you see a Canadian, take a drink. I got to like 20. Okay, 10 tops. Um, Anyways, but Jay Baruchel, he doesn't like LA, and okay, he's one of my favorite actors, and like, he's very Canadian, just right down to the things he says. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but he just has a very Canadian feel to him. Seth Rogen, not so much, but I like him. Yeah, I like Seth Rogen. He's fun and Canadian. Um, and that's literally it. The apocalypse breaks out, and there's just like it's literally just a bunch of actors just playing themselves. Like, it's funny though. Well, they're playing themselves, but they're playing like various versions of like characters they've played in the past. Like, well, you know, Seth Rogen's always playing the same character, and like, you know, they kind of poke fun. They poke fun at all, like, you know, the good or bad movies that they have done over the years. Um, but I think one of the funniest bits is Michael Cera when he's on coke. Another Canadian, also, is just that just notion alone, just like, oh, he's finally playing someone different. He's finally playing someone different, and here he is, hopped up on coke. That's funny. And oh god, the funniest bits are with Emma Watson. I don't even know why she's in this movie. She's just in it, and then she just pops out of nowhere. It's just like comes in with an axe and starts just like, give me your all your water and liquids and food and shit, and then oh god, I'm not even gonna spoil it. Just what happens, like not only how she ends up there, but like why she decides to leave. And then a lot of good penis jokes. And splooge jokes, and just oh god, just everything is just funny. It did feel a little long at times, but I think that's probably the joy of it, and I was never like bored throughout it. There's always some bit where you're just laughing your head off, whether it be like, I don't know, anything really. I think who gave the funny? I think Jay Baruchel gave the best performance. Like, it's hard to even grade their performances because they literally are playing themselves. Like, they're being directed. It's not like improv. Like, it's all scripted, but they literally are just playing themselves, which is just funny when you think about it. And it gets all religious at one point, which is funny. And remember when the Backstreet Boys were popular? Because I certainly as hell do. And wow, like, and the very ending, it has probably one of the, like, just the best endings I can think of in a long time. And the thing, Danny McBride, I think, he's probably the funniest out of them. He's the one you don't trust the most. And he gives a good line. It's like, for all we know, the Lakers could have won. That's probably why this is all happening. A lot of good swearing, what else is there? Oh, Jonah Hill. Oh, he's funny, and he had an earring. I don't know. But like I said, there's a lot of humor. Like, they're all kind of like, when Danny McBride comes in, they all start like poking fun at like their careers, quite literally. It's like, Jonah, you're an Academy Award nominee. You gotta act all serious and shit. You can't be doing movies. You can't be doing like teen movies and stuff like that anymore. He's like, yeah, well. But I think Jay Baruchel, he's the funniest out of all of them. Craig Robinson, the only black guy there, because, you know, you gotta have a black guy. A lot of good cameos: Jason Segel, Rihanna, Michael Cera. Michael Cera has a bit of a small role. Aziz Ansari, he's I think that's how you pronounce his name. He's in this for like 2 seconds. Oh man, who else? Emma Watson just is just she's funny. And probably at the very end. And what they do with Danny McBride at the end is just absurd. Channing Tatum, he comes in at one point. At first I didn't recognize him because he looked a bit, I thought, wait, is that Leonardo DiCaprio? I'm like, oh no, it's Channing Tatum. Actually, Channing Tatum looks like almost like a young Leonardo DiCaprio. Well, I say that even though he's not that young. Well, he just had a kid, so. But this is just, I don't know, I kind of forgot. I thought this movie, like, when I first heard about it and first saw the trailer, I thought, this is gonna be stupid. I mean, come on. Maybe the, like, kind of like Step Brothers, like, yeah, it's funny, but unbelievably stupid at the same time. But then I was like, oh my god, wow, this is laugh out loud funny. I was never really bored throughout it. Like, as long as it felt, I just had enjoyed it a lot, I guess. But this is gonna get a very high 9 out of 10. It does feel long, and maybe because I ran out of Sprite at one point. That was my drink. And I laugh like I laugh like a freak, so you should hear me when I'm laughing out loud funny. But I'm just trying to. There's one scene in particular where it's like with Jonah Hill. I'm just like, oh no, oh no. I don't even want to spoil it. It comes out of nowhere and it's worth a laugh. And when, yeah, apparently all these religious stuff, and then the devil appears, and I swear, did they take a bit of it? Did Dr. Manhattan appear out of nowhere? If you know what I mean. And then the ending is Seth Rogen is an unbelievably talented writer, I think, at times. And this really just shows. He also directed this with another Canadian guy, Evan Goldberg. So I think at this point we're up to about 4 or 5 Canadians. Evan Goldberg, Seth Rogen, Jay Baruchel, Michael Cera. I think there's a couple others in there somewhere. For a film primarily set in James Franco's house, it's interesting. And his house is, like, huge, and there's just all these interesting parts of it, and I think it's interesting, particularly what they do with James Franco, just with everyone, really. Like, everyone has their moment of glory, particularly Emma Watson. I wish they kind of did a little more with her, like, kind of what happened with her in the end, but oh well. But I think if you're, like, a very religious person, I think this might piss you off a bit. But, it's funny, though. But Jay Baruchel, that's right, that guy acts like he's, like, 18 years old just all the time. But this was funny. I'm glad I saw it, and, I don't know, we'll see. But that's my thoughts. I give this a very high 9 out of 10, and tell me what you thought, and tell me what your favorite scene was, without, like, giving too many spoilers. But that's my review, so see ya.